My name is Gabriel Ochoteco. I've been making guitars for 40 years. I was born in Tacuarembó, Uruguay. It's a small outback town near the Brazilian border. My father was a diplomat. I actually grew up in a number of different countries, including the USA, Germany, and Japan. One thing I can say is that I have learned to respect all cultures by growing up in so many different ones. And I've tried to integrate the good things that the different cultures have to offer into my life and into my work and into my instruments. My love of guitars started in Tokyo, Japan. My first girlfriend, whose name was Karen, she played guitar and sang folk songs. And she taught me an A, an E, and a D major chord, and a couple of little riffs to be able to play some bird songs, which were popular, and then in 1967 that would have been. And I was basically hooked right from that moment onwards. I wanted to be able to play and sing as well. I started making my own guitars in 1984 when I moved to Australia. Before that, I was making guitars, helping and assisting both Michael Wichmann and George Müller in building the instruments that they were making. But when I came to Australia was when I first designed my early models and I started making them. When I hear one of my guitars for the first time, it's really difficult to describe the satisfaction that I feel. All the excitement and the apprehension that might be there before just dissolves. And I might end up playing it for hours. The timbers that I use for making my guitars come from many places. The soundboards, for example, that's the front of the guitar, the most important part in this production of sound, come from Canada, Alaska, and the United States. I use Engelmann spruce, which comes from the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, and I use cedar for some of my guitars. And that comes from Alaska or Canada. The backs and sides of my guitars are made out of hardwoods, and they are sourced again from many different places. This guitar here next to me, it's a Claro walnut from Northern California, beautiful timber. And the necks are made of mahogany from Brazil. My fingerboards are black ebony from Gabon in Africa. The bridges are made of king ebony from New Guinea. I also make the back and sides out of rosewood from Brazil and bubinga also from Africa. Sometimes I use Tasmanian blackwood, which is a beautiful timber as well. These guitars take anywhere between 150 and 400 hours to make, depending on the features and the design. I have many favorite guitar players. Jimi Hendrix to me is the king of universal guitar music. Rory Gallagher is one of the masters of the blues rock idiom. Django Reinhardt is the 30s jazz person for me. And Paco de Lucia, who passed away recently, was a wonderful flamenco player. Amongst my clientele here in Australia, I have Eric Bibb. I have Johnny Cash when he was alive. I used to service his guitars when he was coming through Queensland. I've done work for the Corrs. They were lovely to work for, fixing violins actually, not guitars. Harry Manx is another musician who pops around when he's in town, and I fix his instruments then. I also service the instruments for Simon and Garfunkel when they're in town. I'm still learning every day, and I'm still changing. My designs don't remain static. I do always look, where can I tweak it? How can I get a little bit more volume, a little bit more sustain? So it keeps it interesting for me too.